Let's turn very briefly to descent. Here you see a descent diagram and some basic principles of unilineal descent, that is, descent that runs through the male line or through the female line, but not both. Note that there's no ego here. The starting point of descent is the founding ancestor or ancestress. Lineages are unilineal descent groups whose members can demonstrate their descent from a common ancestor. Lineages divide or segment into smaller ones. This model of a segmentary lineage shows how it works. While the entire diagram shows the maximal lineage, the minimal lineage is the smallest lineage segment consisting of 3 or 4 generations. It can be part of ever larger lineages, minor segment, major segment, up to the maximal lineage. Descent systems are a way of calculating genealogical connection that have important implications for social group membership in lineages and clans. As shown here, patrilineal descent traces descent through the male line, while matrilineal descent traces descent through the female line. In matrilineal societies, people belong to a matrilineage or matriclan, which influences how they understand and manage social life. On this table, non-unilineal descent refers to cognatic or bilateral descent. Some anthropologists argue that these are kin groups rather than descent groups because they are not wholly determined by descent. In other words, there's a matter of choice. In unilineal descent, individuals either belong to a lineage or they do not. Unlike kinship, patrilineal descent does not begin with ego and count down. It begins with the founding ancestor. Unlike kinship, patrilineal descent does not begin with ego and count up. It begins with the founding ancestor and counts down. Here we see a 4-generation patrilineage with all members shaded. Note that in each generation, both sons and daughters belong to their father's patrilineage. The son's children also belong to the patrilineage, but the daughter's children do not. They would belong to their father's patrilineage. Matrilineal descent begins with the founding ancestress and counts down through the female line. Again, both sons and daughters belong to their mother's matrilineage. In this case, daughters' children belong, sons' children do not. They belong to their mother's matrilineage. In unilineal descent groups, the largest groups are often referred to as clans. Clans group together a number of smaller related lineages, which are in turn composed patrilineally or matrilineally based. In unilineal descent groups, the largest groups are often referred to as clans. Clans group together a number of smaller related lineages, which are in turn composed of patrilineal or matrilineal extended families. Often in clans, people cannot trace their genealogy all the way back to the founding ancestor. Clans may also have mythical founding ancestors. But the important thing is that clan members do recognize a genealogical connection. We won't go into detail here, but in patrilineal or matrilineal societies, lineage membership shapes an individual's life in important ways: identity, access to land, whom you can or cannot marry, whose side you take in a conflict, which ancestors you venerate. Here we see the Tikopia, a patrilineal society of Melanesia in the southern Pacific, and the Hopi, a matrilineal society of the southwestern United States. Each system illustrates differences in recruitment into groups, allocation of roles, nature of emotional attachments, and organization of common activities. Each system also demonstrates that kinship is more than a biological relationship. The point is that kinship and descent systems are a product of biological or genetic relationships, but they are also cultural constructs that go well beyond biology. They are also key systems of social organization and systems of meaning. Kinship forms and resonance patterns are also in part an adaptation to the natural environment and the cultural environment in which humans interact.